Hi guys, today we're covering graphing from slope-intercept form. This may be somewhat of a review because we did do a little bit of this in Unit 9, a quick mini lesson. So when it's written in slope-intercept form, the name itself tells you what's inside of it. We have the M, which is our slope. We have the B, which is the y-intercept. Now you need to remember that the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. I always think of B as the beginning point. You graph this first. Okay, B beginning point. So you graph the y-intercept first, and that's always 0, B. Then we use the slope to create more points using rise over run. And then you use a ruler to draw a line, and we make sure that there is an arrow at both ends. All right, so let's work a couple of examples. Okay, number one, first thing we do is we pull out M and the B. So my slope is 2/3. My B is, there's my slope. My B is 1, which is written as 0, 1 when it's an ordered pair. So I plot that point first at 0, 1. And now I use my slope, which is a +2. So that means I'm going to go up 2, a +3. So that means I'm going to go to the right 3. But I can also do the opposite because if I have a negative divided by a negative, if I have a -2 divided by a -3, that's going to equal a +2/3. So therefore, if I go down 2 and to the left 3, it still gives me the same slope of 2/3. All right, so now we use our slope. So I'm going to go up 2 to the right 3, and there's my next point. And I want to go in both directions, down 2 and to the left 3, and I plot. And I continue, I can do the loops, or I can just count it with my eyes. It's your choice. Down 2 to the left 3, and now we use our straight edge to connect the dots. Draw the line that goes all the way through the graph and put arrows at the end. Next example. Number 3. Okay, so I find my slope and my y-intercept. First thing I noticed, my slope, that's a -1/2. That means my graph better look like this. It better be going downhill. My y-intercept is -4. Because remember, this is y equals mx plus b. So all of that is my y-intercept because it can be written as plus -4. Okay, so this is 0, -4. So I plot that point. And now I'm using my slope. My slope is -1/2. So that means I would go down 1 to the right 2, or I go up 1 and to the left 2. Both of those work. Oops. So from here, I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2, up 1 to the left 2. And now I can continue that pattern. Down 1 over 2, up 1 to the left 2, up 1 to the left 2, up 1 to the left 2. And we play connect the dots. And put an arrow at the end. Here we go. If you've got questions or need to pause and repeat, absolutely do that as much as necessary. Next page, moving right along. Number 7. When I'm looking at this, you should be like, this looks a little different. But remember, our formula is y equals mx plus b. There's nothing added or subtracted. It's understood to be plus 0. It's just not written. It's simplified. We always simplify completely. So my slope is -5. Now remember, we want our slope to be rise over run, so I have to make this as a fraction. So I'm going to do -5 over 1. My y-intercept is 0, so that's going to be the point 0, 0. Plot that point, and now I use my slope. It's a -5, so that means I'm going to go down 5, a positive 1, so I go to the right 1. Or I can go up 5 to the left 1. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the right 1. Or I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the right 1. And I can't actually do any more than that. So therefore, I now play connect the dots. And I make sure I go all the way through the graph and put arrows at the end. All right, next graph. Jumping down and looking at, again, pause if you've got questions or if you need to re-listen to it. Number 13. This looks a little different still. But remember, the formula is y equals mx plus b. Still got the same information. It's just flip-flopped. So therefore, I'm going to rewrite it in the correct form. Now, that's a 5 minus 1/3, which is the same as plus a negative. So this is -1/3 x plus 5. So my slope is a -1/3. My y-intercept is 5, which is the 0.05. 2, 4, 5. So I'll plot that point. And now I use my slope of down 1 to the right 3, or up 1 to the left 3. Okay, so down 1, 3, up 1, 1, 2, 3. And we continue the pattern. Up 1, over 3, down 1, over 3, and that's as far as we can go. So we play connect the dots. And put our arrows. So that was graphing. Now, we have writing linear equations. So now we're given the graph and we need to write the equation. Well, we're kind of needing the same information as what we used to actually graph. So we're going to find M and B, then plug into y equals mx plus b. That's what we're doing. So I always start beginning point, start with the b. Where is it cross the y-axis? It's crossing here, which is at -2. So now I pick any 2 points and I'm figuring out my rise. Remember that slope is rise over run. So I'm going to go up 1. And how much am I running? 1, 2, 3. 1 over 3. This is a positive slope, so it should be a positive answer. So my slope is 1/3. So I have y equals 1/3 x. Don't forget the x. A lot of people forget the x. Minus 2. Okay, next example. Again, first thing when I'm looking at this, that's going downhill. So therefore, my slope better be negative. Okay, so we go and look for the b, the y-intercept first. So this is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a positive 7. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going down, so that's a -5. I'm going to the right, so that's 2. So this is going to be -5 over 2. So my slope is -5/2. So my equation is y equals -5/2 x plus 7. Okay. Moving right along, let's jump on down to number 11, where now we've got to pick out which graph matches. Okay, well, first off, if I'm looking at this, I know that my slope has to be negative. Well, that means that eliminates A and C just based on that. So I've got it down to a 50-50 shot now, okay? My y-intercepts are the same for everything, so that really doesn't do me any good, but I can use that as a point. Now I need to find a point, another point on the grid. Look, I've got one there and I've got one here. So now I can figure out from here, I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2. So it's -1/2, which this is correct. This is wrong. So therefore my answer is D. There is work to show for these types of problems. Okay, finish the notes and then work on the homework. Have a great day.